So I've explained before that today marketers need to understand technology, they understand software, and they need to understand tools like never before. But there are 3 tools in particular that when it comes to digital strategy that you need to understand. And the good news is these tools are, ironically enough, analog. All right, these are not software tools that you need to learn. These are analog sheets of paper that we're going to be walking through the remainder of the next couple of modules. So given that these tools are gonna work as the foundation of the work that we're gonna do moving forward, I kind of wanna introduce them, take just a moment to introduce them to you right now. Now, the reason that these 3 tools exist is because I also believe that there are 3 questions that all marketers must be able to answer. 3 critical questions that as a marketer today, you must be able to answer. These are the essence of your digital strategy. So if you want to inform digital strategy, if you want to inform the strategy behind how you're going to grow, it is these 3 questions that you must answer. The first question is, whom do you serve? All right. Who's your customer? Knowing and understanding your customer, what they want, what makes them tick, their deepest, most sincere desires, their less desirable before state and their more desirable after state, where they are and where they want to go. Understanding your customer is critical. So we're going to spend a lot of time talking about that, and we've got a tool just for that. Also, question 2, how will you articulate your value to these target personas, to this target market, to your target avatar? If you believe that it is enough to merely have a great product, then you are going to fail as a marketer. All right, I'm going to say that again. If as a marketer, if you go, you know what? Our product is so good, it sells itself. Our product is so good, it speaks for itself. No, it doesn't. And the marketing history, business history is littered with great products that provided phenomenal value, superior value over and above the competitors, and yet there they sit in a graveyard somewhere. Why? Because nobody was able to effectively articulate the value that these products deliver. So it's not enough to just be good. You have to be able to explain why you're good. You have to be able to articulate that value. So what are we talking about here? Messaging. If you want to drive digital strategy, you need to understand who your customer is, and you need to understand how to best message the value that your product is going to deliver to those customers in such a way that they go, okay, I'm in, I get it, and I want it. Question number 3, how will you acquire customers predictably and profitably? All right, we know who we can serve. We can now articulate and explain to them, this is how we're going to serve you. But if you do not have a strategy for predictable and profitable customer acquisition, you will not grow. You cannot expect it just to happen on its own. Again, the business landscape is littered with well-intentioned ideas that were clear on who they served, that figured out a way to articulate the value, and yet they never had a strategy around how are we going to go about acquiring customers profitably and predictably. And that's critical. It is not simply enough that, yeah, I know what we're going to do is we're just going to spend and, acquire like crazy. Look, even if you're a funded company, eventually the money runs out. You've got to figure out a way to do it predictably, and you've got to figure out a way to do it profitably. So these are the 3 questions that you as a marketer must be able to answer. These are the 3 questions that are the essence of digital strategy. So right now we're talking about digital strategy. We're talking about you becoming a digital strategist. The essence of you becoming a digital strategist is being able to answer these 3 questions. Now, the good news is you're not having to just answer these, kind of in isolation. You're not floating around trying to figure them out. You don't have to go find the guru at the top of the mountain. And that's because there are 3 tools that you can use to help in the answering of these questions. The first one is the Customer Avatar Canvas. And the Customer Avatar Canvas is a tool that we have developed at Digital Marketer that will help you identify and answer the question of whom do we serve? All right, so if you want to know the who behind who it is that you serve, this one tool, again, this one sheet of paper, which the download should be somewhere in this area, is available for you. And in a future module, I'm going to show you how to use this tool. The second tool that we have for you is the Core Message Canvas. This Core Message Canvas is the tool that you will use to answer the question, how will you articulate your value? You know who you're serving? This will begin to answer the question of how do we articulate that value. You will find if you look closely at these tools, there's a lot of overlap between the Core Message Canvas and the Customer Avatar Worksheet, the Customer Avatar Canvas. And then thirdly, a tool that you've already seen, one that you'll become intimately familiar with throughout the course of this particular training and throughout the course of just about every other training that you go through at Digital Marketer is the Customer Value Journey Worksheet. The Customer Value Journey Worksheet allows you to answer the question, how are we going to acquire customers from scratch, right? What is our strategy for acquiring customers? And I will simply tell you this. You cannot optimize what you do not document. And so if your goal is to optimize the number of customers that you are acquiring, if your goal is to optimize the amount that you're having to spend to acquire customers, if your goal is to optimize the value of those customers once you have them, if your goal is to optimize the number of referrals that you get, then the first step is to document that process, and that's exactly what we are going to be doing with this particular tool. So again, 3 questions and 3 tools. The customer avatar canvas, the core message canvas, and then finally, the value journey worksheet. These tools will be your friend. There will be tools that you will print out often, and there will be tools that will become the essence of your digital strategy.